Welcome back to Keeyzo's Corner. I'm your host, Keith Perrin. I got a few special guests in the house tonight, but I'm not even going to do them a disservice. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you guys why they're here and what they plan on doing in the next few weeks, I guess. Nuria?
Okay, hi. My name is Nuria Dixon. Nuria. Well,
Nuria.
You can say Nuria because it's spelled Nuria. So a lot of people would say that Nuria, but it's actually Nuria.
I'm sorry.
I am a director and the creator of an animated short film titled Ethan Art Ventures, and I would be screening that at the Station Afrique in Paris.
Paris 2024. Tiff?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Tiffany Chiffani Salas. I am representing the Bricks, and I am one of the global producers for Station Afrique. We're bringing some Newark artists along during the Paris Olympics, and I am representing, I would say, not only the tribe here, but definitely for the city in which we come from. The city in which we do work in, the city in which we hope to build through the arts. And shouts to Willie Esco for...
Willie!
Yeah, Willie Esco, the legend, the hip-hop legend, for, just reaching out and having me curate during this momentous occasion. So it's definitely historic, and I'm definitely happy to be here representing Chiffani Brands Unlimited. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, I'm your art host, Suliman Onque. I'm 1/3 of 3 the Art Way, coming from Newark, New Jersey, representing the Onque. Shout out to my wife, Kareem, and my family. And I'll be one of the artists, along with Samad Onque and Yvonne Onque, showcasing art in the city of Saint-Denis in Paris, France, during the Olympics celebration. So, very honored for that.
How does it feel, man? Like, you guys are going to the Olympics. Like, that's a big deal. Like, and then you bring your city with you, so that's even a bigger deal. You know what I mean? It's not like guys are just going out there to watch the Olympics. You're actually participating. So how does that feel?
I feel like it's bigger than all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's a very humbling experience. As a young business owner, I learned so much during this process of just culminating all these different parts together.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels momentous. It feels historic. It feels like we're putting on for the city. It feels like we're putting on for our people. Yeah.
No, that's dope. That's dope. So tell us a little more about the event that you guys are actually going to be doing at the Olympics in Paris. Everybody doesn't get to go to Paris.
Everybody doesn't get to go. Thank God. This idea came about when we were invited by the city of Ile-Saint-Denis. That's in France. It's a province about 5 miles out from Paris, the city center, where all of the main games will be. They'll be hosting what's called the Olympic Village, and Africa Station is one of those components. It's actually the first time Africa Station has ever happened at the Olympics in such a way where they have performances, artists, they've engaged not just the people of France and the people competing, but also the Pan-African community. So they have Jamaicans, they have several African countries participating, hence the name Station Afrique, or Africa Station in English. And they also, wanted to incorporate American cities. So we have Newark as one of the cities that was invited. And we decided to say, okay, well, if it's just me and Will, we're both from Newark, like we can't just go by ourselves. We definitely got to represent in some type of way. So that's when I reached out to some folks I've curated with at Miami Art Basel, some folks I've won awards with, Nuria's groundbreaking animated short called Ethan Art Venture, the Onques, Kay the Creator, Gary Campbell, a bunch of people I reached out to, and some are born and bred in the city of Newark, and then some work and have been transplanted into the city of Newark and have done great works. So we wanted to show what the hub really is, what Newark as a hub is, and it's about the people who were there, the old culture, old Newark, or old Newark if you know anything about it, and then new Newark. And so we're representing in so many ways through tech, through arts, through music, photography, and film, and we're showcasing all of what I think the city has to offer, and from my perspective, a curatorial perspective. So it's just gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be dope. I think it's a dope thing that they, because a lot of times they don't. I'm not gonna say they don't, but you don't get the opportunity to be a part of something as big as this and what you guys are doing. So it's really dope that they have you guys coming out and representing Jersey, second represent Africa. That's huge. But I want to hear more about your company and how you got started in the business.
Well, I'm a film director. I went to film school at SBA. There I did my first short film, and then I proceeded to do my second film, which is Ethan Art Venture. I never did an animation before, animated a film, but this is my first time. It took me actually a few years to get it done when it came to like the finance and actually to pay. I didn't know that it was so much money involved in actually.
If just because it's animation is
just per minute. Some people charge $2,000 per minute.
No, I get it.
So, and that's not even like the pre-production phase when it comes to your storyboard, your animatic, your voiceovers, paying your cast, for the voiceovers until you even actually get up to the part where you're ready to animate.
Right.
So that in itself was about like $14,000 when I got to that point. So I probably exhausted almost $30,000, but it took me over the course of, I started in 2017 and I wasn't completed until 2022. But this project is about an autistic illustrator who basically learns the power of believing in himself and how to create the narrative in his life. My goal is to really pitch a TV series that teaches kids different lifelong lessons in each and every episode, where that we can teach them mindfulness, self-confidence, awareness, just basically that it's for everyone. I feel because we all have this unknowing power, if we know it or not, to create the narrative. The same way a painter will choose to paint whatever they want to, the same way we make the choices in our lives and how we can create in our lives. So I just want to instill that not within just my son, but I think every parent would want their kid to know that. If they didn't, I think they should know that and know it for themselves.
Yeah, no, that's good. I was having a conversation the other day with my wife, and we were watching Tyler Perry's new movie, and I, just being the person that I am, I take my hat off to him. A lot of times people criticize, and it's always us criticizing us, but when we critique each other the worst, right? But I hear a lot of bad talk about him and what he's doing and the shows he's putting out, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Obviously he's doing something right to draw some numbers in because people are watching it, and he's able to go get deal after deal after deal and create show after show after show. I think in this era we've pretty much gotten to this whole reality thing, so you don't have like I used to enjoy like the Jeffersons or Sanford and Son. It was just funny TV, and you watched it and you went outside and you may have tried to imitate Fred Sanford or whatever, or George Jefferson, walking like George Jefferson. But it was, to me, quality TV. Now, our people may not necessarily have produced it or written it, but we performed it, and it was just great TV. Nowadays, it seems to be getting away from that. So with him, I give him kudos because, like I said, he's obviously doing something where people are still invested and want to, invest in what he's doing. Because, these kids, today, I don't really hear kids talking about anything other than video games or, or mimicking retarded shows that they see on the air and they coming outside talking about that, or, it's depicting us in a way where we're fighting each other, arguing each other, throwing glasses and bottles and all kinds. Like that's not, to me, that's not TV. Like me and my wife we go back and forth. Like I kind of, you know, she wants to watch this and I'm like, oh, I get up and go in the other room.
Reality TV shows.
Yeah, because you know, for us, like even with the station, right? People wanted me to do gossip, do that, you know, whole celebrity stuff and just talk. I don't want to do that. There's enough people doing that. So I want to focus on doing things like this, showcasing wonderful people doing wonderful things and in our community, you know, what because, you know, and I don't mean to jump off track right now, but it's like, you know, everybody wants a baller or this whole baller thing, right? But it's the 9 to 5 people that make the world go round. You know, everybody's not a baller. You know, you could be making $150,000 a year. You're not balling at this point because things are expensive, right? But you're still providing a way. You know, you may be a coach of your little league baseball team. You know, you're still reaching back and pulling up. Like, those are the people that we need. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes I get frustrated. Even with me, I don't curse. I may blurt out a curse here and there while I'm recording, but we always bleep it out. But it's like, we play clean music. You know, we focus on positive things, uplifting and encouraging our people. So I just like to hear stories like that where it's, you know, it's something that a kid can actually use and take with them and learn from it. You know what I mean? So kudos to you for doing that and putting that out. I wish you all the success with that.
To that point where you're saying about positivity, I have a little thing called Suliman, right? Not CNN, it's Suliman. Sul's now news because you need it now, not later. And I try to make sure I highlight the positive side of things. So that's why if you see me doing that, I'm highlighting anybody. Doesn't matter how high, how low you might think in stature or status, whatever, because they need to see positive people, our people doing things continuously. And I'll make a quick video and put it in. This is give you the now news because you need it now, not later. This is Suliman. I do that. I turn it to a whole little, you know, commentator, but in a positive way.
Right.
You know, so I can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just want to get back to, and I'm not saying we need to recreate all the old shows. Just give us something that we can laugh to that, you know, is just positive, you know?
Show us in a better light.
And just to add to that, the Ethan Art Ventures is actually now streaming on Amazon and on Quelly TV. So if you want to check it out, you can definitely check it out there. And I just want to say hello to my son because he's a big inspiration for this project. His name is Ethan, and he inspired me to do this.
Right, I read that. Yes.
And also Tiffany worked on my project. She's a set designer because it's also mixed with live action short film. So live action, yes. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about, I know your other halves are not here, but tell us a little bit more about what you're doing.
So, Through the Artway, we're a family of artists, you know, out of Newark, New Jersey, have been doing it for years. I'm living in Newark probably about 99% of my life and still live in Newark. We try to create positive images that really catch you, you know, black images, cultural images, stuff that's going to really enlighten you and showing us in positive aspects. I got to shout out my wife because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to be doing art full time. She's been holding me down like since 2020, and I'm able to expand, and my life is expanded through my art now. Now I have over 40 plus murals that I worked on and been doing exhibits continuously, and it's because I have that more freedom that I left my job of 20 years.
Wow.
You know, I was working security for Newark Public Schools, and now since then I have advanced. I have my own comic book I created like in 2015, Super Sketch Painter. He goes into different comic book worlds and save the day.
Okay.
And I made 2 issues. I didn't get back to it to the 3rd one because I've been doing more murals and stuff like that. Has been keeping me occupied.
Ain't it good to have a strong woman behind you?
Great. That's why I say anytime I like get a chance, I let people know
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her holding me down, because you gotta have a balance. For people out there, it's good to have a good union, someone that's gonna be on your side, ups and downs, because you're gonna have ups and downs, but you wanna continue to push. And you have that balance where you help her, she helps you, and it works out.
We got a thing, I go back and forth with one of my other personalities. She talks about doing a whole 50-50 thing. Like, I'm not with the 50-50 thing. And I'm like, I don't want to argue with you, but just listen to a man. We don't mind doing what we have to do. But when you start with that, you got to, it's like, whoa, okay, like this is not even starting off on the right track right now. Like, because even with my wife, I think I support her maybe 80%, 75%. I'll say 75%. Take care of what I got to take care of and all that. But, whenever she needs something, it's not a problem. It's not an issue. I will spend my last dollars on her. I will feed her before I will feed me, if it came to that, right? Yeah. So when you hear, when you hear this whole, God has to make this amount of money, that, and then you wonder why, like, guys are not, you get mad because they're not coming at you. Then you get mad because they're going away from you and going to another race. Yeah. And it's like, you can't win. Like, you know what I mean? But, it's good to just hear that because, I've been with my wife.
Go ahead.
No, I've been with my wife 28 years.
Wow.
So we just made 28 years. So
I think
it's like, we going on 3 decades, I've
been with my wife, we've been together like 30.
30? Yeah, that's what's
we're
up.
26 years married coming up on the 25th. Actually, during the time we're out in Paris, which be the first time I'll be away from her during our anniversary.
Hey, it's for a good cause, man. You ain't out there running the streets, so
no.
Gotta
trying to expand the legacy.
And that's one thing, even with my wife, like, I was doing this FUBU thing for years and years and years. Sometimes I was literally gone like every week, 2 or 3 days every week for almost 2 years. And she held it down. But how I made up for it, I would do little things to make sure that I let her know that, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm not just out here running the streets doing, working, but so
it matters, man. I'm telling you, you gotta put that time in as much as possible. And sometimes I feel like guilty. I'm like, dang, I want her to be there, but I know this is a big deal. Like, but it's gonna pay off, and I see abundance happening for all of us. Everybody that's going to take part in this thing right here is going to be blessed in large number.
How long are you guys going to be out there?
So we'll have to go and prep because we're also documenting this time.
Okay.
Kay, the creator, and Gold Standard Productions is documenting all of this. I've kind of been the producer, but not even on purpose for it. And we're going to document that. So we have to be out there about 8 days, a few days for a setup. Wait, listen. It sounds like...
I'm going to be in Paris for 8 days. Listen. I guess a good enough time to be out there to enjoy yourself out there.
Prep days, and then we have to work, and then we'll break down. So all of that is kind of coupled into our trip. It's a workcation, I've been telling people, but more work than vacation. Because we're not only going to represent ourselves, but like you said, the fam. And then this is also an intergenerational opportunity where we showcase multi-generations with the Onques. We also are showcasing more than Newark. We have some Brooklynites coming to slide, so we have essentially like that borough connection going on as well.
I was going to ask you, like, who else from the States that are you guys working with them and bringing them out there, or is it just you guys going?
If you were kind of chiseled into this curatorial project or exhibition, then you may be from Newark, you may be from East Orange, the Oranges, West Orange, Essex County legends. You also may be from Brooklyn or Harlem, just because I know you and because I think your work is groundbreaking. And a lot of times we have to, you were saying before that there is a plethora of people that are doing the same things, right? My goal in the arts and for my company, Chiffani's mission overall was to just impact through the arts, and that was essentially the original mission. And this is a world stage now. I get to showcase what that looks like. Empowerment through the arts, economic development, sister city development, all these initiatives that are going to blossom from this one opportunity. And I invited a bunch of people to come along. It's okay if you didn't see the vision. I hope that you can see it now and come along to LA, because we'll be there too.
Okay. Yeah, people don't see your vision until everybody see your vision. Then they want to jump on the bandwagon and be like, I know you was going to do it, girl. I'm proud of you now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, I actually despise that too. Because you work on something and you're doing great at it, right? You try to tell people about it, and everybody's like, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, okay, girl. And then it's like, yo, no, really, I'm doing this thing, like, be a part of it, and they don't want to be a part of it when it's at the ground level.
Yeah.
Right.
But when it gets up here, then hear the phone calls come, the text messages, the emails, and it's like, hey, I always knew it was gonna pop off, girl. I want to be a part of it, and it's like, well, I really have my whole team, everybody, everything is full now. I don't,
And then they mad about that.
You know what?
Then they look at you sideways. I was about to
you
say
gonna
that.
pick them and not me? Like what? But I've been trying to pick you from the beginning. You said, well, you know what? I didn't trust it. People don't trust enough.
When they don't see the vision.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's hard. I mean, like, I especially when you're like an entrepreneur, right? When you're an entrepreneur, you know how things go. You kind of see when things are starting to bubble for someone or for yourself or whatever. But when you try to explain when you try to explain the business side behind it, most people are not even educated enough to even understand that part.
Right.
So
That part.
like I've been doing FUBU radio for 8 years. I still get, you guys got a radio station? And it's like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm going to try to fix that, because if you don't know by now, I'm obviously doing something wrong, which I will, address. But even trying to get people to buy in, advertise, to do certain things, I'm like, yo, I have a cultural brand. I got I'm being heard in places I can only dream of because I have a cultural brand.
Yeah.
Like, when you start talking about places like Russia and Kazakhstan and all of these other places and Saudi Arabia, I'm like, they're listening to us. Now, I used to say this about the clothes, but now it's a little different because this is not clothes. This is
Voice.
somebody turning on the radio and actually listen to the brand on the radio. So,
Which is powerful.
it's powerful, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, I got the same problems. People don't see it until you actually bubble.
You know who did actually see the vision from the beginning, apart from the artists that I reached out to, because they have their own brands, right? They're their own people, respectively, awarded or what have you, decorated folks. But who really believed in the vision after Will said, listen, Tiff, this is, you do it, I got a lot going on. I said, okay, we're bringing the city, let's go. Who are we going to talk to? First person I chatted with was Kay. And Kay said, well, I'm right behind you. We're going to document this process. Then we hit up Dupre, Do It All, Kelly. He said, well, I'll try to get you a meeting, with our esteemed mayor to talk about this so that at least they know, Newark Alliance.
That's my guy right there.
Newark Alliance, thank you so very much. Mentor Newark, Thomas Owens, thank you all so much. But specifically, the Tourism Bureau, Newark Happening, the Greater Newark Convention Visitors Bureau, they have been an enormous support in making sure that we got there and making sure that we had enough baggage, because they know that we're documenting this. This is our tourism bureau in the city, and right next door to Robert Treat Hotel. I just wanted to publicly thank them for believing in this and funding it, because a lot of people believe, but we needed some funding. And shout outs to our commissioner, Essex County Commissioner Dorian Murray Thomas and Dana Murray. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Doesn't it feel good for people to believe in you?
Yeah.
When you need something, you can actually get something done.
Yeah,
You know, it's oh man, that's a beautiful feeling, man. Because a lot of times, you know, and that's what it takes. It just takes capital. Like really, there's a lot of things that can be done. You know, and even us, you know, we were able to do that back in the days, and you know, when we were, you know, popping in these streets. But, you know, we were able to give back. We were able to fund things and be a part of things, you know, certain things that was pushing the culture forward. But it feels good when people believe in you, you know. Like even somebody told me, he was like, listen, you've been doing that for how long? 4 years. And you need to shut that down. I was like,
That's not cool.
I was like, shut it down. I was like, okay, well, my people been rocking with me since I started. They've been putting in the work to get it off the ground. If I just quit on them when they didn't quit on me,
Right.
you know, how would that? I don't even know. I would never do it, but I wouldn't even understand how to navigate around that person or these people anymore, because they look at me like, oh, you quitter, like
Right.
you quit. We
Quitter.
had it going and you just quit.
Right.
So, you know, for me, I chose not to. I said, you know what? I see the momentum. I'm gonna keep riding it out, and then we'll see what happens. And I want to say 3 months later, I want to partnering up with U42, this tech company called U42, and we've just been cranking out product and content ever since. I moved to the city, got this office, and you know, so sometimes, like you said, people don't see your vision. They don't see it until it happens, you know. Because then as soon as I got the office, and they was like, let me tell you what shows. You need to have me up there, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And I was like, really?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now you got a whole lot of opinions, but you didn't have no opinions before. So it's, you know, it's good. Like I said, when people finally believe in you or see your vision and what you're trying to accomplish. And this is a big thing for Newark, for not even Newark, for New Jersey. Because you guys are I'm sure, gonna go out there and represent well.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I want to say, let me know when the documentary come out, so I can, you know, I know you're gonna. I'll just reach out to you.
Yes,
I know you'll get it to
I'm
me.
gonna definitely like keep you all abreast here at FUBU Radio, and just thank you for having us. And I also wanted to say shout outs to Principal Sakina Pitts at Newark School of Fashion and Design. And the students there who worked on some of Will's new brand, his Jaclar sneakers. We have Olympic version sneakers now.
Okay.
And so we're going to also display some Newark students' designs there. And, you know, it's a school that Miss Misa Hilton also works out of with her workshop. So just honored to be able to collab with so many beautiful folks in my city. And, you know, again, shout out to all the artists on this campaign, Eric Benya, you know, a Big Ed, you know, the people who have been working with us to document, and Arts Ed Newark as well for their undying support. Thank you. Yeah.
You guys, want to share anything else?
Just to add to that whole believing, people not believing in you, I think the true power is when you believe in yourself, because that passion is the only thing that's going to keep on pushing, and you have to go through the journey. It's a process. Some people don't understand the process. You know, like some people would tell me like, oh, so where's your film? Like, why isn't it not like in the movie theaters? And it's like, do you know there's a process behind, behind that before it even gets to that point? But I am walking the walk. People that's not even in my lane, they were like, oh, so why don't you reach out to this person? Like, it's just so easy. It's a process, and I believe in design. Timing is very important, and you just got to be true to yourself. So back to the cartoon and its meaning of instilling this power of belief is really a walk that I'm walking too, you know? So
No, I mean,
that we all are walking.
That's big. That's big. You know, what you said earlier, even when we were talking about, you know, your animation project, people don't understand the business. That's why I always say people don't understand the business behind things. Like they just see what is like almost a finished product. So then they don't know what it took to get to the finished product, right? So even with me, when we were building this, I had people who just wanted to be affiliated with the brand. And I'm like, no. I said, I'm coming in at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm busting my ass.
Right.
So you have to do the same thing. You can't just expect that you're going to come in and then just be, it's just going to happen for you. You know what I mean? Or just, you since you're affiliated with now, you're just going to level up. But I wanted to make another mention about Tyler Perry because people were dogging him about getting writers and having other people do that, and sometimes you don't understand when I say you don't understand the business behind it. Like sometimes, because we're trying to put together this documentary right now, and we're just going back and forth and back and forth, because certain people want the rights to your, like say if they do your documentary, then they want the rights to your book, they want the rights to your merch, they want the rights to everything after it, right? Yeah. So I was saying with Tyler Perry, if you own something and if you created it and then you wrote it or whatever, and people might not like what you're doing, but a lot of people do. So you're not gonna please everybody. You're just not. So keep doing your thing, because you never know. If he gets a writer for, like, if he got a writer for the first Medea movie, right? They would have been like, well, if this is a success, I want to be attached to each and every movie. You just don't know what the parameters around the contracts are. So this man wants to go out and do his thing. Let him do his thing. You want to watch it? Watch it. You don't? You don't. Right. But I know for a fact, with us trying to get this documentary down packed, it's a lot of, then people look one way on paper and it'd be another way in real life. Right. You just never know. So, but I know you wanted to say something.
Oh, well, I was saying, because you said something about owning your own stuff, right? I remember I went to a Comic-Con, and I was trying to show some artists my work, and one guy kind of like, he had a negative response to it because I didn't have a background in it, right? So another writer spoke to me that I knew at the end, after I told him that I felt like, man, he kind of shot it down. He said, listen, they can't say nothing to you because they don't own the characters they drew on Marvel. They just drawing it, but you own your whole book, because I wrote it, illustrated, the whole thing is mine, and he was the writer, and he did the same thing. He said, it's better to have your own and own it, because that's your intellectual property. You can do whatever you want. So, I mean, when you said that, I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, okay, yeah, because they would never own a Spider-Man or Hulk or whatever they were drawing, but he shot me down, but the other guy brought me back to light, like, listen, you own this, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with
everybody has an opinion, man, and it's like, if you're not a professional in the field that I'm working in, I'm going to take your opinion with a grain of salt. I'm not even going to, I hear you, but if you're not a person that has done what I've done or is successful at whatever you're doing, like, I don't want to hear random opinions about what I'm doing. Like, because I looked at it when I was told to stop, I was like, I ain't going to lie, I thought about it. Because I was like, I'm doing this for 4 years. I ain't made a dime. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't made a dime. So I was like, okay, can I really hold these group of people together that long? And once I was able to sit, because I sat down with everybody and just like, yo, this is what I'm trying to do. Are you in it with me for the long run? And everybody said yes. So that was a testament of what my character is to them, because they see me like, they used to call me and don't get upset, please. They used to call me the Mexican because I used to do so many jobs at one time. Like, I would run the lights, the board.
Shout out to the Mexicans.
Yeah, shout out to the Mexicans. But I would run the lights, the boards, the cameras, everything. Now I have the luxury of having my cameras remotely controlled, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. And, now I have plugs on my lights. so I don't have to worry about the batteries dying and running and ducking behind everything. And and then I learned the board a while ago, so I'm good with the board.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to, just persevere. Like you said, do it yourself and believe in yourself. And I think what you said was a lot of people don't believe in themselves. They look for validation from others. And when you don't get that, you start to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And like you said, no, everyone's not going to see your vision. So if you don't see it,
You don't expect anybody else to do
yeah,
it. Right?
everybody else is not going to see it. So just keep going, and kudos to you guys for actually, getting out to the Olympics. I'm jealous. I want to be there. But I'll get there one day. I ain't never been to the Olympics, but I've been to Paris a few
You
times.
know what? If you could shoot a flight out, you're definitely welcome to. We have about 1,800 square feet that we'll be able to showcase in. So we have more than enough room for you in FUBU Radio if you guys want to come out. I will say this, just piggybacking off of believing in yourself. I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to say it publicly. Mm-hmm. I was houseless or homeless, 5 years ago? I'm going to the Olympics. This was 5 years ago. So what I did was I wrote down all of my goals, and I checked them off one by one. And I believed in myself. Throughout that process, I was an Uber driver. I worked all night long. And then in the daytime, I would go in style professionally because I'm a professional wardrobe stylist. I would go in style. People had no idea I was taking showers at the LA Fitness in West Orange. Shouts to y'all. Nobody ever knew because I came in like Tiffany Chiffani all the time because I believed that, okay, whatever this situation is,
It's
maybe God just has to have me go through this so that I can be strong in my business, so I can be strong amongst people and myself and my own mental health and all of these things. All of these things are components. You're going to feel every emotion when in entrepreneurship, and you must believe in self. There are going to be a lot of people to say no, or you're a loser, or you had a job, or look at your life, or what's going on, and all of these things. Silence the noise and listen to your inner self. Sit with God, sit with your ancestors, speak the names of your ancestors, and make sure that when you are writing down those goals and when you are speaking to the universe or God or whatever you think is out there, make sure that you are very precise in what you ask for. I said to myself at the beginning of the year, I'm going to be going to the Olympics this year. I had no idea how I was going to get there, and the next day, Willie Esco called me. So I want you guys to know that the power of thought is real, and you are what you say you are.
Oh, man.
Powerful.
Well, thank you guys for pulling up. Let people know where they can find you, so if they need to reach out to you.
Well, you can reach me out at Suliman Onque on Instagram. That's SULIMANONQE. You can also go to 3theartway.com. That's www.3theartway.com. And reach out. We're here for art. And I want to say one more thing. This is all about collaboration, right? It's not about ego. It's about how far we go together. Mm-hmm. So people need to keep that in mind, because when you collaborate, you expand everything. Mm-hmm. She collaborated with us, gave us a chance, and now it's blossoming. And
a lot of people, a lot of people are afraid of that, man. I don't know why. I really don't. You have a lot of selfish people out here. Yeah. I remember when I used to work in the housing sector, my boss promoted me from assistant manager to manager, to property manager, and I stuttered a little bit because I was nervous. I was like, he asked me if I want the job. I was like, yeah. He was like, you don't sound too confident. So I just said, I feel I could do it. I may need a little, little coaching for maybe the first couple of months, but other than that, I think I got it. And the one thing he said to me was, if you ever have a chance to reach back and lift another man up the ladder, never another black man up the ladder, never hesitate to do so. But I didn't just do it for black men. I did it for all my people, people, that are not black. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like the more good you do, it just comes back to you. And if it doesn't come back to you, it comes back to your kids. Like, it's just something about, and I got this from my mom because she used to feed people and be hungry. I was like, how you gonna feed somebody and you hungry and you didn't eat? Because I know they're not gonna eat. They don't have it. I'll figure out a way to get something to eat. That ain't no problem. But they won't, so I'm gonna feed them. And I used to just look at her crazy. But then I started seeing all the blessings that used to come back from that, whether it be to her or to us, and so you gotta always reach back. And a lot of people, they don't want to share information. They just want to, and like, I don't even charge people. It's like sometimes I'll sit down now. Let me get it clear. I don't charge people for a 5-minute conversation, because I will always point you in the right direction, and then it's yours. You got to take it and run with it and then come back and let me know. Okay, I did everything you said. Can you give me a couple of more jewels? And I will give you a couple more jewels. I'm not going to sit there for hours and hours and hours, and I'm just not going to do that. But I'm not going to charge you for every time you want it. You know what I mean? Like, if you need some information and I'm like, hey, you got some money? No, I'm going to shoot you out some jewels and see what you do with it. And most people tend to love the way I do that, because then they take it and be like, man, people don't do that. Like, I tried to call this person, I couldn't get nothing. Like, but it's good that, you can always reach back and pull somebody up the ladder. I just think that's what we're really supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, but you have a lot of people out here who are selfish and self-centered, and they only want to be the one. They don't want everybody else to shine. It happens like that. So, but I thank you guys, man, for really pulling up on me today and sharing your knowledge, and kudos to you guys for achieving what you're achieving right now. And I know this thing is going to be a huge success, and you guys are going to come back and tell me all about it. When you come back, we sit down again and have another conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having us.
Nah,
It's
for
been a
sure, for
pleasure.
sure.
Appreciate you.
Another episode of Keeyzo's Corner in the Can. You heard? Tap in. Later.